and I'm muted, so hopefully this helps with that. Yeah, I got that working. The only thing I don't have working is music for some reason. Trying to figure this out. I gotta use big brain moments here. Reading. Browsing local files here. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Maybe that worked? It would appear not. Maybe. That worked. There we go. See, now we're a little. We were a little loud with the music there, but having nice little gentle background music, that ain't bad. That's okay. I'm okay with all this. Sorry, if I'm looking at my screen, it seems like my eyes are just off. That's just because I'm looking dead ahead. But I'm looking at you guys. Ugh. Oh, what a good day! It's gonna be a good day today. Not bad, man. The stream's coming out great too. We gotta think about the Halloween stuff. It looks good. But today, we're gonna be learning some logic. Tone that down just a smidge. Just a smidgen. Not by much. That way I sound more normal. Just go here for a second. Yeah. That's what we're doing today. Learning some logic. Cool. And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's Fungus Frank! Wow! We're here! We made it! We're doing everything hopefully right this time. We usually are a little on the slow side to things, but that's okay. Got nobody watching. That's okay. We're here to learn logic today. That's going to be the biggest thing. That'll be one of the easiest things to do. I don't think it'll be too easy, but we're going to learn. We're going to have to learn. We have no real choice. I mean, at this point, man, if I want to call myself a Trailmakers YouTuber, I've got to know how to do it, at least a little bit. So we're going to be messing around with that a little bit. It'll be good. It'll be a great time. So, let's take a gander here. I'm gonna jump into, I think the best way to do this is actually gonna be on the test zone. Test zone's gonna be a good move here. I think that'll be a good one to have up and running. This will all be a-okay. There's my game. It came back. It's here. We finally made it. Okay. We're all on the up and up, enjoying our best times here. Now, I've got to go through and make sure all my sound settings are up to par. Alright, let's get this going. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. Nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Oh, logic. Gonna have to learn a little bit today. Let's see. Just waiting for people to jump in. I had 2 people join in earlier when I was still testing some stuff out for the stream, but it would appear that we're up and running at least now. So that's good. That's at least a good thing we got going for us. It's not all too bad today. Not all too bad. All right. Ah, what up, Mike? Hope all is well, dude. Hope everything is going a-okay. Oh boy. We got this new pretty build. Take a random guess on what that is. Let me make sure I've got any... I gotta make sure I got game audio. That's been like my biggest thing. Let's see. There we go. Now it's switched over to Trailmakers. That's a little loud. I would argue that that's a little on the loud side. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's it. That is a Spitfire. Nice, nice. Good call. Good call. It's probably not the best Spitfire, arguably, but I mean I like it. Came out okay. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Got nice wings though. I like that they rock, like they're pretty centered, but it makes the whole plane rock if you jump on them. Yeah, man, we're getting somewhere. We might actually learn how to build at some point or another. Things will start to turn around. The biggest thing is, can we get it off the ground? it's moving very, very slowly. It's trying. We're gaining speed slowly. Come on. Come on, baby, get up there. Oh. I don't even know the best way to launch it now. No idea. We got so much going on here. If I can fit it in there, we'll just do like what, detachable skis or something. Might be one of the best things. I couldn't find a way to fit any landing gear in here, and I was kind of bummed about it, but we were, you know, we were trying to figure it out. Okay. No gyros. There are no gyros in this build. Where my brain is just, there we go. All right, found the ski. I was not having a great time with that one. There we go. And then yeah, we'll just get 2 of these. About where is it? Right. Yeah, right there is fine. Okay. There we go. Now it's in the air. Ooh, look at it. It flies pretty good. It's very smooth. The camo probably needs a little bit of work, though. It's kind of an ugly plane. Looks a little funky. I don't know how the overall shape is looking, though. That's not why we're here today. We are here to learn more about logic and how it operates. Very smooth landing. Come on now. There we go. Okay. I have some knowledge of logic, and it's very minimal. It has its moments of being pretty good, but there's also times where I feel like I'm kind of stupid, and I just haven't quite figured everything out yet, so... this is one of those ones we're just gonna have to figure out. I guess first things first, I needed to have an objective, which is going to be like something I was thinking of I could do today was going to be if I had like a distance sensor hooked up to a bunch of sound pieces to where I want to recreate, let's see, I want to recreate the sound of like if you're getting close to the ground in a real plane, you know, you get that whoop whoop pull up terrain or like stuff like that, you know, like I thought that'd be cool. I think terrain would be easier to mimic than you know, pull up with the sound tools, but that's kind of me. Yeah, I was a little bit bummed about the no decal stacking myself, but that's just kind of how it goes. I believe the devs did mention that it was an issue to do with like people doing inappropriate stuff with them. So make a C5 dropping a Moab. I don't even know what a C5 looks like. No idea. The stream realistically has only was only going for a few minutes, and I guess while I was testing, like something popped up. Like I did a private stream, and out of nowhere it was just like I switched it to public before I went actually live, but still when switching it like caught the end of my test stream, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I did it, but it just kind of happened that way. So yeah, it says 18 to 19 minutes or so I've been streaming, which is I guess kind of true, but realistically it's been like 10 minutes. I've only just got started, so Mr. Daniel, you haven't missed much. Not too much going on. What's up, Hayes? Hayes Nielsen. Hello. Hope you're doing good, dude. Hope everybody in here. How's everyone's day? My day was kind of uneventful. Work-wise, boring, hot, you know, all the fun stuff. So, you know, stuff like that. It's been good. So Logic. So I still want to do like that sound system that like when you get too close to the ground, it you know, we get that that terrain sound where it says terrain, pull up. And I want to honestly, all I really need to do is recreate that sound. You know, the planes make, it's like the whoop whoop, like that. If I could find a way to do that with the sound generators in this game, I think that'd be a really cool addition to some of the other planes I have. People are, let's see, 6-piece, tired. Good, I had school. School sucks, but other than that, good. Here's the thing. Coming from an adult, realize this. School's okay. It does suck in the moment because as a kid, there's nothing more you'd rather do than school. Like, you would rather do anything else other than school. Once you become an adult and life's responsibilities kind of stack up, which I'm not saying you don't have those already, just know that it's it gets kind of heavy sometimes. Like, as you are living your adult life, it gets stressful, man. So seriously, there's no you can't turn the time back and you can't go back. So do your very best to enjoy it the most you can, because once it's gone, and you'll think back like, oh, I wish I would have done this and this. So like when you're in school, do what you can to enjoy it and do what you can to excel at it, because truthfully, schoolwork, I think, though can be hard at times, is a lot better than, you know, taxes, work, other responsibilities. Like I think this weekend I had to get an oil change for my car. It sucked, and I was just like, oh, I gotta fork out money, and I don't want to pay someone else to do it, so I changed my own oil because I'm a man. And yeah, it just like little things like that, but like all that adds up to your finances and a bunch of other stuff. It's kind of heavy. Tiger Bite asks how I'm doing. I'm okay. You guys just had a little Fungus Frank rant, but truthfully, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I was hoping to be able to stream a little bit more frequently than I have been, and you know, just because like content wise, I feel like I'm really lacking, and either it's like the connection with either my subscribers and or like just my connection to YouTube overall, whereas this, like, streaming feels more natural to me, and I'm not sure why. If that makes any sense. Like, I think I have a better grasp on talking to folks like one-on-one than I do like pre-setting up recording a video. I think that's a good way to describe it. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. So Hayes plays on Xbox. Dude, I started on Xbox. Trailmakers, when like playing Xbox back in the day, I could, like, when I first got Trailmakers, like at first, of course, like my builds were not great. I mean, even if I'll go to my history, because I ended up transferring it over. I think I still have my very first build I ever made in Trailmakers. Just got to go way back in time. And that was this. Right? So like this is like the very first thing I ever put together in Trailmakers, and was like, this is a great build. Like, I thought this was amazing. I thought this was the shit. And it's like, really, it's kind of not, you know? It's really not too great. So, I don't know. Shout out to Xbox players, though. Yeah, but this thing... yeah. I believe that I used these little... I used the small jets, the small thrusters, in order to create roll. And then forward and backward was on the servos on really fast settings. It just was, it's a little out there, you know. Dude, 6-piece, you're not even kidding. Like, today's standards are high. Like, you're not even kidding. Like, I feel like, oh man, like, especially some of the stuff, like, actually in our chat here is Mike, Mike969. Tremendous builder. Like, some of his stuff like blows my mind, because even I don't have the patience for it, and I don't take too much time out of my day to like learn all the little neat tricks. I've gotten much better. I mean, so I titled this is my first build. I believe it's titled Avatar because it was made to be like the helicopters from Avatar. I later rebuilt it into the actual thing. Like I took the time to actually learn how to build and make something look decent. So now I have this version which actually looks like the real deal. So a lot of it comes down to just trial and error and time. You got to put the hours in to building, depending on what type of builds you want, though. Because me telling anybody how to build makes no sense. The whole point of the game is to have creativity and do what it is that you want to do. And this is not really like the scene or scenario to do that. So, hello, Melvin Gate. How's it going? What up, God Mode? Welcome back, dude. Hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, people are consistent. You know, you get things that like people learn how to build things well, and they tend to roll with it. Like me, my build style evolves over time, and it's not a consistent thing. Like I'm always adapting and learning, trying to get better. On Reddit, people asked people to rate it, and it was getting 3s. So here's the thing: if we're gonna keep on the trend of like random advice. Comparison is the killer of joy, always. So if you compare yourself to others and or would like people to compare you to themselves, it ruins the joy in what you do. Don't look for outside viewpoints. Like don't look for people on the outside to tell you whether something is great, good, or bad, because most of the time you will always be disappointed. The best thing you can do is find something that you like and something that you enjoy. And even if somebody does mention that they don't like it, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of got to live up to that. See, that's smart. You got rid of the toxic situation, right? So you have Reddit's this toxic hole of people judging everything from God knows what to God knows what. And you don't have that anymore. So by deleting it, you removed a problem. And probably, even if it's not by a large margin, maybe it improved your overall mental health a little bit. So that's all pretty good. Hayes is on Trailmakers right now. Anybody who here has played Trailmakers within the last, like, 24 hours. Within 24 hours. There's a type of 1 if you've played Trailmakers within the last 24 hours. Let's see the ones that come up. We got Diecast, got God Mode, both of them spamming it. Everyone's on it right now. See, like, what I think would be interesting, like, streams are kind of hard to do this, but I really do think it'd be cool to do, like, some form of build-along. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, tutorials and stuff. I've been speaking with Mike and a few other people that I play with in the Trailmakers community on like different videos that I could do that would be slightly different. And the biggest ones I would like to do are logic tutorials, and getting help from people that are really good with logic, and myself, who's I would honestly say I'm pretty intermediate to, like, if it went like intermediate, or is that beginner, intermediate, good, great, expert, like I would honestly put myself at intermediate, like just after like beginner status. So I mean, yeah, I want to learn from some of the experts and some of the people that are really good at it, and put together tutorials for everyday Trailmaker players that like don't really understand it too well, and explain it well. There are a lot of tutorials on what each individual gates do. I don't think there's a lot of tutorials on how to build a specific thing. Like a fuel system is one of the ones we were thinking of, like how to create a fuel system, whether you want it in your build or not. You can do it for like aircrafts, tanks, trucks, anything that you would like to have a fuel resource limit that can be recharged. Like teaching people how to build those systems are pretty important, I would say, and they could actually add a serious like amount of realism and or immersion to the game if you'd like that, like that stuff. So that stuff's kind of fun. Six Piece has been wanting to play Trailmakers, but has friends that want to play other stuff. That's okay too. I don't know. I don't know too many people that can consistently play one game for too long. I think it gets boring, unfortunately. Like, it really can weigh on people. And, you know, even myself, like I see videos like other creators are making, like right now, huge shout out to Logictive. Like, dude, the guy's blowing up and he's doing so good. Like, I'm nothing but proud of him. And like, I'm just happy he has that enthusiasm and that drive to upload the way he does, because he is very consistent. And it's just one of those things that I myself, like, I have a job, I got a fiance, I've got a lot of stuff going on that I don't have the time. So like, for me now, looking at streaming is like one of those things where I'm like, this might be like my little bridge the gap as far as playing, like posting regularly, where I'm still gonna have videos every Sunday, which is part of the new plan, and then doing this on the side, like where I, like in between, like days after work, like today, I can come out and just be like, hey, we're streaming today, and we all just hang out and chat. I think that's good. So yeah, Logic kind of, I don't know, dude, he found his groove and he stuck to it and it's working. So it's one of those things, you know. I actually would like to collaborate with him more. It's like you know, you have these people that you find that you just wonder, like, what goes through their head every day where they come up with an idea like this that is so grounded that it actually works to a point where like people want to see it, people enjoy watching it, and people can come back to watch it again. Those are like the three big things when it comes to YouTube and just overall content creators. Like, that's kind of the things they focus on. And it's very impressive to see, because some of his ideas that he had, they're so great. They're just solid, fantastic ideas, and I admire him for that. I think that's really cool. So, oh yeah, it says boo in the background. You guys like the Halloween stuff? I don't know if it's even visible. I've got this little scarecrow head back here. He's kind of, it's kind of odd. It's an odd one. Yeah, I don't know. But we gotta give him a name. Like, I actually really think there should be a name for this dude, because he's, at least for October, he's gonna be hanging out. I know it's still in September. We still got time before October, but I would like him. He just chills with me here on my little table, and it's pretty fun. All Trailmaker content creators are good. There's no toxicity going around. Oh, dude, just call him Fungi? I don't know. Do we just, what about like Fungi? Like, I have friends that call me Fungi Frank all the time. And I'm like, do we just want to do like Fungi or something like that? I don't know. I don't know what to name him. He's kind of cute. Fungi? Is that, we're going with Fungi? That's his name. The little scarecrow's name is Fungi. We got Fungus Frank and Fungi Frank. Yeah. He's pretty cool. Yeah, if you guys saw the video, I was like, I wanted to just like set him over these like lights I have over here, and it just wasn't working very well. So one of the biggest things that I did was I ended up I found an old pillow that my dogs sleep with typically, and no one's using it anymore. So he literally just have a pillow stuffed in his little head cavity there. So I think it's pretty good. Yeah, Fungi Frank, the little scarecrow. I like Fungi. That's a good one. I think we'll stick with that. I think we'll stick with the name of Fungi. It's not bad at all. Dog reveal when? I mean, I have an American Staffordshire, which is also known as a pit bull. He's a blue nose. He's very pretty, and I also have a red heeler. So I've just got two dogs. I would do a reveal for them, but I feel like if they came in here, they'd knock a bunch of stuff around. Let's see. Maybe I can get them out here. I don't know if they'll show up or not. Come here, Sully. Oh, hi, guys. Oh, he's heavy though. Oh. This is the big boy. This is Sully. He's alright. He's not too bad. He's a good boy. But he's a chonker like his dad. He's heavy. Okay. Go back. You're good. Thank you. You did so well. Good job. And then the other dog, she's a little older, so picking her up like that's not great. You know? Like, if my hips are going bad one day, like, I would pray to God that, like, someone would never touch me to pick me up like that. That'd be terrible. Oh. Yes, we've got Fungi the Scarecrow. I noticed you guys are like watching me in this small little window and there's not much going on the screen, so sorry about that. As far as logic goes, I only had the idea, which was going to be setting up a terrain alert, like that we hear in actual planes, like where it does the little whoop whoop pull up. Like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I think that would be cool. So we get like a distance sensor to start. I think that's good. Goodness, I got a burp. I'm all throaty right now. Get a little seed action in there just because I want it to be able to be saved. That way we can use it whenever. Let's see. And then I know I'm going to need the sound generators. Or tone, sorry. I didn't know they were tone generators. Let's see. There was a question I like totally misread it earlier. What was it? I think someone asked if I played any other games. Oh yeah, Daniel asked if I played. What other games do you play? Rocket League. Grand Champion 1 in Rocket League. I do play a handful of Rocket League. Unfortunately, that game has died. Not enough effort put in, not enough customizability. Like, biggest thing, like a lot of the Rocket League community have wanted for a long time is to be able to make your own custom maps. That would be really cool. Okay. Because and I'm thinking about this sound, like it starts really high pitched, doesn't it? Like, or is it low too high? Like whoop whoop. Like, how does it work? You know what I'm talking about? I feel like it's low too high. And like, if we did it, we would delay this one by how much? Maybe 25 seconds? Let's see. Or 25 seconds. 0.25 seconds delay. And then... But it's like, do it. I'm gonna tell you anything like... I'm trying to really piece this together. Like, I'm trying to like figure out how this sound works. Like, I'm like completely tone deaf. Like, I can sing okay, but as far as like, I know what that sound is. Like, there's no way. I'm too lost. Ooh, maybe triangles move. It sounds more smooth that way. Nope, not high enough. That sounds not high enough. It's got to be like pretty darn loud. Whoop whoop. I don't know. I need someone who would understand sound better than I do. Like, maybe have this run for 1/10 of a second and go from there. And then it does it twice. I just realized that that sound right here, this one, sounds like an overshield from Halo. Like when you're injured in Halo. And then it comes back, it's all and then you get back in the fight. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I got a little bit of the bass sound. Maybe if I find like a video of like the actual waveforms and what they look like. Or at least an image of them. Oops, sorry for having background noise on my phone. Should never do that. Let's see. If I'm looking to the right, it's just because I'm looking stuff up. I gotta see if I can find that sound. Like terrain sound aircraft? Maybe something to look up. Let's see. They have a bunch of different ones. I just looked it up. It's like, it's just not the sound I'm thinking of. Yeah, there's the terrain pull up. And it just sounds like beeping. Not sure about that one. Is that what it's called? Boeing GPWS callouts. I'm actually literally gonna just copy what you said and look it up. There's a soundboard for it. There's a caution terrain one? Is it the pull up one that I'm thinking of? Or they have, is there a terrain pull up? I'm thinking of that beeping noise. Do you guys know what that is? You know which one I'm talking about? The whoop whoop pull up. Like I'm trying to I can't think of what that sound actually is. Do you know the name of that? I guess it's, yeah, there's a terrain alert that yells terrain at me. And a few other things. But other than that, that's too low flaps. That one gets me every time though. The pull up, it just yells at me. That's funny. That's okay. We'll learn. As we go, we'll learn. But if I can remember the sound in my head, I should be able to recreate it. At least that's how I would think would be the case, but it doesn't seem too likely. Oh, come on. We can do this. My brain is big enough. I mean, my head's damn big enough. Hell, my brain should be big too, right? Let's see. So I want to make sure that it's deep enough. Neither of these have inputs now. No big brain. No worries, 6-piece. Have a good night, dog. Take it easy. It's an interesting sound. It's not too bad. But like, let's see, like an easy. I'm trying to really piece this sound together. No. It seems like it's much higher. Called me dog. Yes, sir. Let's see. Half a second, half a second. I think, I don't know. I think it's closer. I'm trying to think of like how, because it like rises like steadily when you do it. I'm not sure. Have a good night, Six Piece. Take it easy, dog. See you when I see you. We'll probably end up doing another stream sometime and getting back out on Xbox servers. As much as I'm not a fan of them just because they're not as stable, but they are still fun to see what you guys have got and to check out the builds on there. It's pretty cool too. So. The sound is so close. It's just no, not it. It's not it. I'm trying out here, man. I'm trying to learn. Do 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 do. Whoop whoop. It's just I'm thinking maybe it's not the what state am I in? A state of pure panic and fear always. No. That is a personal question, and I'm not sure how to answer that. I will say it is in the desert in the United States. I think that is a fair answer. That doesn't sound quite right either. I'm okay with the sound. I just don't think it's quite there yet. You know? I'm making a Chinook that has 56 seats. That's a little out there. That's a big helicopter, though. I remember, I don't know if I saved it. I would doubt it. But I was building, like, the interior of an actual... Oh, yeah, I do have it still. Wow. But it is, in fact... I would need the complexity mod on to show. I was trying to make, like, an actual airliner. And, I mean, this thing's crazy. Like, I wanted to make, like, a pretty much to-scale, like, airplane. And this is kind of where it was at to begin with. Let's see. Let's at least do, like, 1200 for the complexity limit. Let's see. Yeah, so, you know, the aisles row. First class, you know, 2 seats per row. And we go to, like, your economy class. I think I did 2 seats per row anyway, everywhere, just based on size. But, you know. As far as states, I guess it's big enough. I do live in Arizona. So I will go that far. But yeah, I was trying to, like, this be like the side door. And then, yeah, have a full interior was initially the plan. But it's proved to be, like, rather difficult to have this much stuff in this game. It just doesn't handle this stuff well. Not at all. But yeah, it would have been cool to actually have a full-on like 747 or something. I just kind of like stopped with the progress just because it's too intensive for the game. It can't handle it. Solomon Snow, you just got here. What up? What up? What up, dude? I didn't even save my last build. Darn it, I got distracted. There it is. Yeah, we're learning logic. Not really. I'm really just trying to like implement different things. But I do know I can at least show you guys. Yeah, it's very simple. It's a terrain alarm, and I am hilariously struggling with it, which is kind of funny. So I'm just trying to get the right sounds to work, and I haven't quite gotten it there. Is that too high pitched? I think that's what I'm thinking. I think it's too high pitched. Sounds like someone like disconnected your phone line from back in the days. And realizing as I'm saying that most of you are either too young or don't know what I'm talking about. Phones used to have cables plugged into them. And when you would disconnect it, your little phone that was hooked up to the cord would make pretty much that exact sound. At least in the United States. Could be different elsewhere, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much what it did. Terrain sound. I'm really trying to figure this out here. Tips and tricks videos would be good. I know like one of my original ones wasn't too bad. I'm almost out of ideas with this. I wanted to just kind of be like, all right, that works, and go with it. But at the very least, I'll do it here first so we can make sure that it works. But I do want to make a tutorial. Probably my next video coming out on Sunday. What I'll do is a tutorial on how to make a fuel system. That way everyone will know how to do it. If you guys want to ever add it to a build, it's actually relatively simple. Let's see. So Trailmakers tips and tricks. Tips number 1. You can add a fuel system to whatever build you want. Here's how to do it. All right. So I've got to remember how to do it because it's been a little bit. But XOR gate. There's at least one AND gate. There we go. We're going to need our new best friend, the accumulator. Like that. We're going to need a comparison block. Let's see what else is there. Let's keep it simple. We'll put it on a little plate for ourselves. Essentially, I've used like a little 4x8 as like a circuit board for my brain to understand what's going on. And just to better help suit that, we're going to even give it the green circuit board color. Because essentially all these gates is basic computing and basic computer operations. So if you aren't aware of those, they're relatively simple. The AND gate is a pretty simple functionary block. It does not operate unless so if you have two inputs going into it, they both need to be active in order for it to have an output. That's where like I get the idea of the AND block would be like me and my buddy go somewhere. That's like how my brain is, like me and whatever else. And you can have up to like 80 different things hooked up to this, as many keys as you have bound or as many buttons on your controller you have bound. It will not send an output until whatever you have as an input are all active, and then it sends an output. If that makes any sense. So that's a little nerdy rant for you. All right, we got AND block. Let's see. And then for like my own demonstration's sake, we'll just put the engine here. And I believe like a go-kart wheel would work just fine. Here we go. All right, seat. Boom. What's up, Iron Cat? I'm making a fuel system because I need to learn logic. Minimum 0 is where we're going to set that. And I don't want fuel to burn too quickly, but even if it does or doesn't, it'll be fine. For our inputs, we're also going to use as well. We're going to use accumulators as well for our inputs for everything. So, let's see. And gate. Yes, okay. So this maximum, just because we want the response to be instant, our maximum is going to be set to 10 for this one, minimum set to 0. Because this is going to be one that, like, it's a fuel system that drains fuel while going forward and backwards. Because, you know. Why accumulators as inputs? Great question. I don't know. I just know it worked for me when I did it some time ago. To be honest. Maximum 10. Scale 10. Don't need steps, just this one will be positive. This one will also be, it'll be positive as well, but it'll be considered the negative. Dang it. There we go. All right, left input. Let's see. Goes into here. And gate. I'm trying to remember. My brain doesn't work half the time. AND gate needs this to it as well. It needs the accumulator for the fuel tank, as well as the comparison logic. And what we'll do is comparison mode. It'll send out an output if its inputs from the accumulator are less than, let's see. No, we want it to be greater than, because then it'll shut everything off if we use the AND gate properly. What do you think the next update should be? What do you want added to the game? What do I want? Honestly, what I would love added to the game, just better physics. How about a stable server? That'd be awesome. Cross-platform, like basic things. I'm not really looking for anything like too wild, but basically the devs have always said that in no way, shape, or form do they want to do something regarding a 1x1 block. But like, I think cross-platform would be huge, and I think just having stronger servers would be better. Optimizing their game to actually operate like a game should, where I should be able to have my buddies on a server, like all of us together, with no issues. I shouldn't be whoever's hosting shouldn't crash every 10 minutes, like, period. I just think that's fair, you know. I'm just kind of ranting a little bit at this point. All right, this one, change its color. Forward. Let's see. Backwards. That way I at least know for my brain. I've got Spark in here, Exaspark and Proxy. What up, guys? I'm trying to learn logic, and or teach logic. This is the fuel system. I believe Exa was actually in the game with me. Exa is another Trailmakers YouTuber, so if you guys don't know about him or seen him, do it. You can use just an OR gate. Oh, you right. You right. Would that work for forward and backwards? Let's see. Because like the way I would like it to work, I'm hoping you right. Forward or backwards. I mean, for draining purposes, yes, that would work. Scale. We'll do like 10 for now. AND gate. Forward. We'll set that AND gate up to that. This accumulator is to the AND gate, as well as this, which this will then say no. I'm trying to describe this. There's no way it works. Let's see. XOR gate here. I want a positive output. So this one, XOR to this one. Oh. Let's see. So when I use the OR gate in the accumulator Iron Cat, all I've noticed is that it does drain when I use a negative input. I'm going to go back to the accumulators here, which is unfortunate. I've got to re-bring those back. I'm just going to build it out. We'll optimize it after I get it built out to where I actually know what's going on. Otherwise, I'll be lost forever. Maximum 10, scale 10. Perfect. Maximum 10. Perfect. Alright, now we just gotta bind this stuff. Negative. Positive. And actually this will be, it's also positive. Hooked into this. Hooked into this. Now we also need an XOR gate to control negative speed, which is fine. This goes to this, goes to this. All right, and then if you want your acceleration to turn off, a NOR gate works to drain the accumulators. Quite simply put, this. At least it should, unless I've got something wired. I've got to have something wired into this that's not working right. There we go, NOR, output negative. You can see our throttle goes up. Go first person. Oh, maybe the top of the seat. We'll see on the right, our throttle goes up, then back down. Even as we reverse, we're burning more fuel. So that's working. Too much work. Let's see. So this... That's reverse, forward. Let's see what else we can do here. Proxy, I do not. I mean, I do, but I don't. I have a Discord server. Unfortunately, I just don't host anything in there. It's really kind of private, and I don't really know why. I just haven't had the time and or really taken the time to make anything worthwhile with it. You know what I mean? So it is like, it exists, but it's really just kind of for friends. And it is set up like an actual community server. I just don't really do much with it, you know? That's all. Let's see, NOR gate. That actually nullifies these, so after their input. Comparison logic gate, greater than. Greater than 1, it sends an output. We get greater than 99.9, then which should send an output to this AND gate. Which I'm currently trying to remember how, because I actually have this whole system built. I just didn't want to have to pull it out because I was trying to remember. I'll just put them side by side because I don't remember how I did this. I did it once and I've already forgotten. So I was just trying to remember if I could do it again. That's the only reason I save all these builds is because I'm like, I don't want to have to think again. And usually you just start slapping stuff in there. But now I'm trying to actually just remember how it works. Oh, get out of there. The AND blocks hooked up to this. Negative output. Accumulator is only hooked up to the comparison logic. Comparison logic is hooked up to both AND gates, in which this AND gate is held up. Oh, yeah, see, that actually makes sense, because I need an input. Oh. Why did I can't believe I forgot this already. I feel dumb. Yeah. Oh, Alex, what up, dude? Do you like the spooky season? The spooky season vibes? We out here. Alright, I gotta essentially just recreate everything else. So I need an AND gate here. No XORs whatsoever. Only goes into this, not you. This plugs into that. As well as this one goes into that one. No, not. Oops. This accumulator goes into here, and that one. So it only goes into those two. Okay. Brain is starting to brain. Hopefully. The booze sign? Yeah, dude, the booze sign's awesome. I like it. You know, just a little Walgreens run. Solid like $3 spent. It's awesome. Okay. So this is forward. This AND gate should be positive to that. This gate, yes, controls those. And then this one would be all I need now is just a negative XOR gate to essentially put my engine in reverse. Same deal. Change the color. Reverse. Forward. XOR negative. Left AND gate hooks into this. Which this hooks into that. And this is forward. That's reverse. Let's see. Now let's see if it actually works in theory. You know what, Iron Cat? I felt that. Like, I feel that. That comment is so real. It says, logic is fun until you find out you accidentally selected 1 in 1,000 logic gates that wasn't supposed to be selected. So true. Because you accidentally turn something off after you've done like a chain of code, essentially, and it breaks everything. It's done. It's done for. So I always like triple check. So the NOR gate, your NOR gate, essentially... if I'm not pushing in my two inputs, which you guys could see is left trigger and right trigger, then if I'm not activating those, it sends out a negative output of 1. So left trigger, right trigger, if I'm not pressing these or activating these buttons at all, it sends out a negative input. I have those hooked up to these accumulators, which will always be subtracting them because their inputs are going to be forward and backwards. And because accumulators, once they fill up, they can't be subtracted unless you tell them to. That's the whole purpose of the NOR gate. It tells you, hey, and yeah. It tells the accumulators, hey, go back down to 0. And then the accumulators are all they're doing is sending a signal to this other accumulator, which is essentially my fuel tank. Put it that way, fuel tank. And when they send out a signal, it does slowly just fill up until once it's filled, it should in theory shut everything down. Because once the accumulator fills up visually, you'll see it filling, but like on a realistic level, you'll see it as essentially you're draining fuel, and then the system should stop. Good call, Iron Cat. What kind of games do I like? You know, emotional ones. I think, yeah, Proxy, I think you're right. So couldn't you make an engine that could overheat with somewhat the same idea of the fuel logic? You definitely can. Yeah. Like if you wanted to have an engine that like gets too hot, and then you say you put in the sconces, you know, the lighting sconces, like you could like be driving along and all of a sudden have it like catch on fire, and then it just stops you dead. Like those would all work the same. Okay, I gotta make sure my brain is all cut up. Oop, nope, don't want to save it. It goes here. Comparison block. So the comparison block is essentially taking in the number from the accumulator. The accumulator's maximum number is 100. So once we reach 100, it'll be completely full. And what this comparison block is doing is reading the active number as it's filling up. So as it goes from 0 to 100, it's reading that input, and whatever this is, if my threshold is greater than 99.90, it will then send out an output, if that makes sense. But what I'd like to do is actually put it on less than 99, because it should always have an output going out until I say otherwise, if that makes sense. So if my number is less than 99.9, as the accumulator is filling up, once it's full and reaches 100, it then shuts off. So we're going forward. We have a reverse. Oh, maybe I did less than? I might have missed something here. I think my comparison needs to be into this block. I think so. Let's see. Accumulator gets put into the comparison. Greater than. It is greater than, yeah. Otherwise it won't work. Oh, I also need to be smarter than my own self, which is I need to disable the inputs for the engine. There we go. Oh, I'm already out of gas. Come on, slow down. Thank you. All right. So I need to make my fuel last a little bit longer. And we can do that by just upping the amount of input scale. Or lowering it, technically. This should send an output. This AND gate should be positive. Accumulator, once filled, or just being used in general. Honestly, I don't even need a maximum of 10. That just gives you a little bit more throttle variability. I don't really need that. Like, the 1 scale would work just fine. that should accumulate. That should accumulate. Did I lower my scale too much? I might be missing something. No, it's filling up. I'm losing fuel. But I'm not driving forward. So there should be an output if the number... Yeah, I should be an output if it's less than 99.9. Oh, come on. And then positive input to this. Oh, this needs to be a positive input. Negative input. Let's see. I have to have more things hooked up to this than I realize. I've got that, that, and that. Oh, that's why. Okay. Sorry, AND gates will only send out an output if everything that's connected to them is sending an input, and so if I'm alternating triggers, it won't work. Versus if I have it set up to where this one is hooked up to the accumulator and that should then work. And that should work now. Normally, if I set this up to negative. Reverse. Forward. I don't know what's going on. It's just driving on its own now. The NOR gate. Let's see. Yeah, that should work for both of those. Like, this looks right to me. And I'm trying to figure out why it's not working. Fungus Rake, to give you some hope, I'm more confused than you are. Unironically, I'm trying to make tutorials for this, so this is a good practice run for my sake of understanding. If I understand it, I can explain it a little better. And when I do a tutorial for these, like these things in the future, I'm definitely going to have some visuals so you can actually understand the logic that's going on. Let's see. I didn't think I needed 2 NOR gates. I think it had worked before in the past. Yeah, that doesn't seem right either. This nor this will send what output? Should be negative. Let's see. The only walker I have has and gate just to go backwards. And the walking motion is all timing. Yeah, pretty much. That's how mechs work for the most part. For some reason, I'm trying to figure out why. But my NOR gate, I don't know why it won't work the way I'm used to it working. We'll save this one. Oh boy, yeah, that's fine. But I want to see, because I have a whole logic file of like just stuff I made in the past. And I don't know why, like in the past, my NOR gate was working just fine. Doing that. Yeah, and essentially I've made the exact same thing. Weird. feel like it's toggled for some reason, and I don't know why that is. Like, my reverse shouldn't do that. Okay, so maybe this one not here. Your next video should be Rocket League in Trailmaker. Dude, I don't know how well that would fare. Especially, like, could you imagine actually trying to make, like, a Rocket League car that functioned? It'd be very interesting. Okay, stop. Oh, this is one of the things with Trailmakers. They need to fix it so bad. Like, okay, I get it, but I can't do anything except wait. I'm trying to just go back into build mode, and it's like, no. It's just like, no, you gotta wait to stop. You've got to completely wait to come to a full stop as I'm spamming build because it doesn't know what it wants. Goodness gracious, this is ridiculous. There we go. Oh, I got it. Figured it out. I needed 2 NOR gates. Goodness, NOR gates. How hard is that to explain to anybody? So we got there. Let's see, it's pretty basic by Rocket League standards, but it can jump, boost, and has aerial control. That would be it'd be interesting. I would like to do it where, like, if you jump and then within, like, you can do logic for it. Jump and then within Rocket League's 1.5 seconds, you have to jump again. You can do a flip or something. But then it would have to be inputted based on which direction your toggle's facing. Like, you really could make a Rocket League car. It would just be a logical nightmare. 13 viewers, I'm famous, and all of you are a reason why. Just kidding. I think we've got it working now. Well, let's see. I like the idea that Proxy gave, though, of, like, the overheating engine. It's actually kind of cool. Let's see if there's a way to do it. And let's see. What's nice about this, too, like, we can set the scale pretty low. Like, or actually pretty high. So, like, we burn fuel really quick. So for every second, we'll burn like 3% of our fuel, if that makes sense, with the scaling here. So you can see it fills up pretty quick. We can make that even faster. Like, I can run it. I should be able to, like, run out of gas. Like, let's see. We're using 5% every second. I'm really trying to do math here, like at what time we'd run out of gas at. What is it? 5 times 20. What, so 20 seconds of fuel? Trying to think of a way to do that. But double jumping and flipping would require instantaneous power that could be moved around very quickly. That would take up a lot of space. No kidding. Especially to keep a car, like a car size in Trailmakers. Like, if you made an Octane, it would be ginormous. It would be huge in order for it to function. In which case, because it's so large, it wouldn't work very well. So that would be a big thing. Alex, you're right. I should build a Dominus in Trailmakers. Alright, so now I technically have 20 seconds of fuel for this little doodad here. And believe me, this is not a form build by any means whatsoever. I'm just making sure that this system works and I remembered how to do it. I did have to cheat a little bit, but we don't talk about it. Alright, so now I should have 20 seconds of fuel. And the accumulator in the center, as it's filling up with green, is my fuel gauge. So once it fills up, essentially I should run out of gas. We're cruising, almost full. It's getting better. Boom. I can no longer drive forward. Like, I can put in inputs all day long, but it's not gonna work. And same with this. Same with reverse. So forward, nothing. Reverse, nothing. So that's, I'm currently out of gas and I'm just coasting along. If I jump out and jump back in, I cannot move. I no longer can function at all. It's kind of cool. It's good that it's working. We made a functioning fuel system. And I will create a tutorial for this over the weekend as we head into, so look forward to that on Sunday. That video will come out Sunday. Tomorrow I was going to stream again, however I'm busy. I have my little brother's got a football game, so I'm going to be going to that. American football, if anyone is overseas. Yeah, we like to get hit in the head in America. That just makes, you know, makes you understand why I am the way I am. But yeah, other than that, like, I think Friday and Saturday will be spending most, like, those are my days off from work. I'll be spending most of those days recording and editing to be able to put together a tutorial just for this, so that is completely understood, and I think that would be cool. No one talks about CTE nowadays. All the boxers and stuff are like, oh, Muhammad Ali, he was so great. And I was like, up until he was 50 and then CTE caught up to him, he's still great, like was the greatest of all time in boxing. However, the dude was 50 and he started absolutely losing his mind to where like he was not himself anymore. So like, protect your noggins. It's good for you. It's just not healthy to not have your face safe at all. And like for me, most cameras aren't safe with my face, unfortunately. Yeah. I was surprised this was holding up as long as it has, just being me. But it's okay. We now have a functioning fuel system. And I want to still follow through with Proxy's idea of it having like an overheat deal. And I think there is a way I could do that that I would find funny. Would be like if the engine right before it starts to overheat, like the engine should like shake a bunch, you know, like start to shimmy and shake like crazy before it like actually overheats. That'd be pretty cool. So we'll put like a basic large hinge in here. The angle's fine, the speed, go fast, and if you hold position it makes it even move even faster. When is the face reveal? For what? I'm so confused. You guys confused me. I'm like reading this right here. When is the face reveal? Was my face frozen? Did I miss something? You guys are wild for that one. We got them, boys. All right. When is the face reveal? I was like, oh, dude, that sucks because when streaming, there's so much going on. It's like, when's the face reveal? I was like, ah, shit. All right, damn it. What happened? What broke? And I'm like immediately looking at OBS, Streamlabs, and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know what happened. That wasn't very nice, you guys. Very rude. So essentially, instead of what is a weapon or propulsion block you would like added? Let's see. I wouldn't even like to hear, they didn't even add a weapon thing for me. In regards to the weapons, I would love to have a tank cannon that is a 1x2. Similar to like our lasers, tiny blasters, I would like a tank cannon that is 1x2 so we can actually put it on the end of tank barrels, because I think they would look better, arguably. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would look much better than like having this giant thing where you're forced to build in this 2x2 area for the barrel. I just don't think that looks as good, versus if we did the 1x2 blaster, it would look much better, in my opinion. That would be really the only change. So like if you are building a tank, like they should have a tank cannon that is this tiny. So like if I wanted to, I could slap it on a tank. So like we'll come back to the logic here in a moment. You got me on a tangent for the Trollmaker devs, because if I have this tank like this somewhat mock Sherman, the large cannon is a 1x1. However, it's actually a 2x2. The opening is 1x1, like 1x2 if you would. Like the barrel itself is 1x2, but you'll see we've got the 1x2 barrel in the cube, but we have it on a stand so it can auto aim, which is cool. I think if you disable auto aim, it should change the block into something totally different, where we actually just have a 1x2 cannon just like this here on the end. So you can actually throw it on the end of a barrel and have it look natural and work well. Or that would work too, like a 1x5, like essentially, like I agree with you there too, Daniel. That would actually work well. Like our two pieces here, we've got like the 1x4. If we had 1x4, or hell, even if it was the 1x8, right? We've got this super long pipe here that we could then use as like an actual cannon. Like that would work that way. I think that'd be cool. They should just add a tank block. What you mean by that? Fill me in, Iron Cat. Give me more so I actually know what's going on. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here lost like, yeah, tank block. You mean like a fuel tank block? That would be also cool. I don't need to do all this logic and hurt my brain. Just a pre-built tank as a block. Just spawn it in. It's a tank block. That'd be cool. All right, we now have a functioning fuel system. I'd be curious to see if like there's, I'm sure you could with like other tangents, like as far as realism for a car, like other tangents of logic, you could probably do like an oil system or a cooling system that like if a piece of the block is damaged, then the engine starts to overheat and act differently with like smoke generating, you know. Frost 3D asks, why didn't you post a dethrone with Uzi, Scrapman, Professor Cognito, and myself? I did not upload that because I was not in the best mindset for recording, as far as I was under the influence of some things the night before and was not feeling well, and they randomly were like, hey, let's record. And I was just thinking, as far as getting a great video together for you guys, I don't think I was able to provide that, but as far as entertainment for everybody else, I think I was a good choice, if that's the best way to describe it. I felt like if I had face cam on it or anything else, like I would have looked a little funny. I was just not, it was an early morning and I was still a little hungover, put it that way. Solomon, have yourself a goodness. Have yourself a good night. Sorry. I read Iron Cat's message as it came up. Solomon Snow, later, dude. Let's see. A 1x1 universal joint, like a 1x2. Yeah, like Iron Cat's right. We do have the trailer hinge, which is essentially what that's for. I would argue that it's not very good. Where is that thing, by the way? Is that even here anymore? Where is the trailer hinge? Is it still? Oh, it's right here. Still mechanics. Like, we have this, but why is it gotta be, you know, a 1x2x2? Like, why is it gotta be so big? And if it is kind of that, then get rid of this 1x2x2 and make it literally a 1x2 pole like this. This is the hinge part in the dead center. Just keep that. That's all we would need. Alright, I want to do the engine overheating as an alternative to fuel, because that's what this could be. If that's the case, let's see. Gotta think of something here. So when we run out of fuel, we just need another comparison block. And this one will be greater than. This will then send an output to this hinge. Not this hinge. We need two separate XOR gates. There we go. duration, pause. Half second. Duration of 0.05 seconds, pause of 0.05 seconds. And the other one also the same. So I guess we could technically mirror it. Except one output's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. And that'll come from these. And then the XORs will hook up into that. So I'm going to see if when I run out of gas, the hinge starts doing stuff or not. Let's take a look. Oh, I can already see what I forgot. I forgot to hook up this accumulator. Oh, this accumulator to this comparison block. Nailed it. All right, let's give ourselves less time. Up the scale. We only have 10 seconds of driving time. Ten seconds. I have no idea how I'm reversing right now. That's weird. It shouldn't be reversing like that. I don't know what happened there. That's negative for reverse. This is forward. Accumulator's fine. Oh, that was weird. Am I able to stack them? Stack what? Oh, like the blocks? Yeah, you can stack them on top of each other. It's just easier for my brain to see the logic, like everything laid out. And like what does what. Like what goes into what kind of deal. And then once you have it completed, you can save it, and then you just kind of put the blocks, as long as you know what to hook up to what as far as engines and stuff, then you can just kind of like stuff them in the build randomly. And it works a little better. Can I look in general chat on Uzi's Discord? General chat. Let's see. Tejas I just made. Wow, dude, look at that thing. Y'all are something else. Roxy, that's a pretty cool build. Not bad. Not bad. That's a good one. I just gotta delay one of these, but 02. It's starting to work, except I don't know why I have something's not right here. Something's not right. I don't know what's sending a negative input like that. Oh, there's I've had to have misclicked something. I don't know why I in any way would have a negative output to that engine. It shouldn't be doing that. Ouch. Turn off hold position to what? You said turn off hold position. What's on hold position? Iron Cat, what are you throwing at me here? Oh, is it this thing? Maybe. But even then, that shouldn't affect how that works, unless it's for this engine. Does the engine have something? No, it's not toggled. I'm trying to think of like what would make me to go. I don't know what's making me all of a sudden drive backwards. Let's see. Something's sending a negative output. I don't know what it is. Oh, I see it. It's in the NOR gates. I could see it for some reason. It's right here. I don't know what it's doing. Something's hooked up over here that's not supposed to be. I'm trying to figure out what it is. That's the worst part about logic. I don't know why it's shaking so much. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel stupid for not knowing, but I'm like, NOR gates should simply remove the accumulation from the accumulators. So this one, if I don't press left trigger, subtracts that one. If I don't press right trigger, subtracts that one. Beautiful. Very easy. Then accumulators for left trigger go to this accumulator, and then to the AND gate. This AND gate sends a signal to this XOR, XOR gate, good lord, which sends a negative input to our engine for reverse. So that works. This accumulator is hooked up to the normal fuel accumulator, which this one says the AND logic gate to go forward here. It should be good. That simply hooks up to there and there. There it is. After all of that, there it is. So now I have this comparison block that should not be hooked up to this XOR gate. Took me a second, but there it is. I figured it out. There we go. Good to go. It's weird, like, having to dive in there, but you eventually, like, find it. And that's what IronCat was talking about. Like, you build a logic, and it can get way more complex than this. This is a relatively simple system here. And if you mess up at all with one misclick, it'll do that. It'll just mess everything up. So now, hopefully, when I run out of fuel, essentially run out of fuel, or my engine starts to overheat, I should just have a shaky engine. Which looks like the case, actually. Not bad. But the only reason I did hold position, see, like, the engine's shaking, and it's kind of a light rumble. The only reason I did hold position, for whatever reason, is the hinges, like, act much faster under hold position than without. Oh, am I super quiet? I haven't even been paying attention. I just, like, read that. These are all things that I can't really tell until it's too late, you know? Am I really that quiet? Oh shoot. I didn't think about that at all. I was just like hanging out. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours and not one soul was like, "You're too quiet." This is tragic. Alright, I turned myself up a little bit. I can go more intense a little bit more. We'll just keep rising and rising and rising. There's a little bit. Alright. We went almost 2 hours of streaming without somebody being like, "Yo." Exa mentioned it earlier. Oh, I wasn't reading chat. How do I go? I go all the way back through all these, and I'm like, sorry. But we got there. Alright, let's see if our engine overheats properly this time. Cruising. Should overheat eventually. Oh, look at the shakes! Oh, my word. It's shaking so violently. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I added overheating, so like now instead of like instead of fuel being in charge of like just running out of gas, it's just like the engine got too hot, so now the engine starts doing this. Aw, you right. So what we can do for that, if I want it to be like a half and half thing, like the engine starts shaking, like say we get close to the end of our fuel tank, we'll do like 80% of our fuel tank. Then it'll start shaking. In this case, we can actually just, you know, scale it up like that. And then we need another system that would then compare this same fuel accumulator to where if we keep going with that on like based on like a time deal, then essentially all I need was like I would need throttle hooked up to an accumulator hooked up to an AND gate after this one starts shaking, and then I can have the engine explode. Okay, I can do that. I know it's going to be very confusing for anybody watching. You have no idea what's going on. Just trust me, it'll work. Trying to explain logic to anybody, like what I see in my head, you'll never know. You'll never know. You can't. It's too almost impossible. Unless you understand logic, in which case you'll go, oh yeah, that makes sense. So this one reads our fuel tank, and once we get to 80%, it starts shaking, which also sends out an output. We need another separate AND gate for that. Heck, we could just stick them on the engine for all I care. Another AND gate, throttle, I need another accumulator. You're right. You're right. Like, we can really get into this as far as like making a build that like this engine, like we're getting real with everything. That's very true. Another accumulator. Like, if anything, this could be used, Proxy, like this accumulator could be used as like an overheat meter. Like essentially your temperature gauge inside your car, you know? That's essentially what this is going to be. 0, maximum 100. That's fine. Then, so yeah, we'll just keep this like kind of upright. I know like we don't really have a car per se, so like everything's kind of a little bit backwards, but like I said, I gotta make it kind of stretched out and long and or wide in order for like the logic to make sense to me. I feel like my audio just like for my music just like shot up like no other. Sorry, might be a little loud. I don't know what happened there. Awkward. There we go. All right, we're back. Okay, so now once we overheat, this engine will start. Yeah, this starts the engine shake, which should also start this overheating, and then ooh. We could also do a speed sensor, like, so Proxy, what we could do is, like, we could do, if we, how would I describe it? If we slow down, then it won't, the engine stops shaking and everything kind of resets. I think that'd be kind of cool. But that'd be a lot. But I think for now, what we'll do is, like, everything should stop overheating if we do, in fact, slow down. So, like, the shakes and everything should stop. If that's the case, I need to disconnect these and put this AND gate into this. Okay. So we got that, engine starts shaking. And then this overheating scale. We can actually have it up kind of high. Like, so it'll go up, the accumulator will go up 10 notches every second. Can't go too fast or you overheat and explode, right? And a fuel system as well would be pretty interesting. Okay. And logic gate hooks up to both of these. The speed sensor trigger below, like if you slow down, like go down to, you have to come to a full stop to stop the overheating, I think would be cool. That's release, gets rid of the overheating on the accumulator. Oh, we're shaking. Ah, we're shaking. All right. Come to a stop. Come to a stop. Come to. Oh, I'm out of gas too, so I'm still overheating. In which case, yeah, that would be considered an overheated engine. That is a little bit much. Holy cow. Yeah, you could use a distance sensor as like a refueling station. And just simply by having it distance, have it at a negative output, set it up to this. Accumulator, which is essentially your fuel gauge. So now if I use fuel, you'll see that little green meter in the center there starts to fill up. Come to a stop. Or then it's like full, but if I jump on it, starts taking away a little bit, it starts refueling, and then I can keep going. I need this to be displayed in front of me, otherwise I'll be confused the whole time. So let's actually build out, like, kind of a car, but not really. It's just gonna look a little funky, but it's at least gonna give us, like, some groundwork to work with here. A little bit more building area, and a little less confusion for my sake. Okay. And this can be like a fuel gauge here. There we go. And then I need to have like a dashboard for myself. Which is nice because I can then just take all of these things and just have them be displays. So like this, decals, where are you? Put the gauge fuel on there because this will be fuel. Actually, I think they now, with the recent update, they added the fuel tank, or what looks like a gas can. They sure did. Look at that. Now we got, that's for your gas. Boom. And then we take this. And then this is for your temperature. Which I think the gauge works perfect for this. There you go. Nice, dude. I'm all about it. Daniel said, what is my profile picture for y'all right now? I actually can't tell what it is, bro. I'll be honest. I like looked over. I'm like, huh? What? Where is that? Alright, so now if we do first person mode, you can see I'm draining fuel. Oh, now I'm starting to overheat, so I gotta come to a stop. Best that I can. Oh, I'm still overheating. Oh, it's because it's just too violent, that's all. the shaking of the engine's too much. It actually moves me. So like, let's just be reasonable with the speed sensor. Instead of it being like 100% zero on the speed, just go like below 10 miles an hour. Or heck, 5 will work. Go below 5 miles an hour, you'll be fine. And we'll just make our fuel last a little bit longer. Just by lowering the scale. There we go. I gotta get going. Gotta pick up girly friend. Talk to you later, homie. Oh, bye, Alex. See you around, dude. Oh, see, but now the fuel's gonna take too long. So maybe I should do... Like, I would say, like, the overheating thing would need its own accumulator setup. Versus, like... these. So, like, the overheating feature could be its own individual thing. Yeah, so we'll need, like, the overheating feature... Should we base it on... Let's see. Frank, you feel like the favorite uncle for trail makers. Why is that? That's weird. Such an odd comment. You feel like my favorite uncle for trail makers? Yeah, I'll give you $1 and be like, here you go, kid. Don't spend it all on a gumball. Alright, proxy. We gotta figure this one out. So, what is it? Like, what do you think we should use for, like, the overheating? Should we do it... Because we could do it based on speed, or we can do it based on, like, how much time spent accelerating. If that makes any sense. Because, like, what causes an engine to overheat is, like, prolonged runtime. And at that point, it's like, do we just make it based on time itself? Like, after, like, 10 seconds, like, then it's... Maybe speed is your first guess? Yeah, we could do that, huh? Have it based on speed. Like, if you go over a certain mile per hour for too long, then the engine... That's fair. Because I guess, like, the only way you could also do it is if you had, like, an RPM system, which is... I can't even imagine putting that in there. That'd be a lot. But I think speed is doable. It's like over a certain speed for a long enough time creates overheating. Okay. So, speed sensor. This is our overheating computer. Speed sensor, at what speed? We should have an output. If we go over 60 miles an hour for too long, we start to overheat. So then we go 60 miles an hour into an accumulator. Set the minimum to 0. Come on. 0. Maximum fine. And then how many seconds do you think, like, at what point, like, you're like, oh, you're going over 60 for too long? Like, do you think keep it easy for, like, let's see, like, 10 seconds? Probably do 10 seconds of going over 60 miles an hour, and then you start overheating. Oh, 30 or 15 seconds. I dig it. Oh, I'd have to do math. Gotta pull out the phone, the old calculator. 30. So you want 30 seconds. And we can do it as long as it's divisible by 10. I think it's very doable. I just gotta think of the scale, because you gotta remember, like, essentially what's happening with scaling is if scale is 1, then every second it takes away 1 out of this 100 here. So then you have to do math. So 10 works. All right, so 10 seconds and we overheat. That's easy enough for me. Let's see. So this speed sensor hooks into our accumulator. Our accumulator hooks into then this bad boy. And then our speed sensor should then hook into this accumulator here. Oh, wait, I already have an accumulator set up. Hold up. This is its own thing. Yeah, speed sensor into our overheat deal. Sends a positive input to this where this starts filling for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, it should then go to this comparison block, which once it's at 80, which would be 8 seconds, it starts to shake, which we can actually make it start shaking fairly quick. Yeah, threshold for when it says greater than 9.9, it could start, shoot, it could start shaking right away. And then like threshold be 40. Yeah, that should work. And then this goes into, it should be, what is this? An AND block, which goes into those. See, I'm going over 60. I'm going 70. I'm starting to overheat. Now my engine starts to shake. I gotta let off the gas. That's kind of cool. More violent over time? You could do that. You could make it pretty... I'm trying to think like how I would logic that out. Like how I would make it more violent over time. You would need essentially separate gates that are set up. You need separate gates set up in like a timed deal to where like their delays are different. So like and their outputs are different. So like if you had an XOR gate on like 0.1 for when it first started, like for the first second, then it would like barely move. And then you have the next gate after 2 seconds, it goes to 0.2 output. After 3 seconds, goes to to 3.0 output. Then everything starts like really going. Like you could do that. Yes, you could make the steering shake as well. But as far as an engine overheating, it doesn't really affect steering too much. That's the only reason I did the engine shaking over the pretty much anything else. The only thing I need to do is have there should be another speed sensor, which gives out a negative input to that accumulator. If we go below, I don't want it to be 5 miles an hour. It's got to be 60, right? So if we drop back below 60 miles an hour, then we're fine. But the benefit of going, yeah, there you go. They have different outputs and the individual different speeds when you cross over those speeds. You could do that. Like the more you push the engine, the more it starts to shake. That is also another thing. All right, let's see. So now when we go over to 60 miles an hour, let's see if we overheat. So over 60, we're overheating. Let off the gas. Go below 60, we'll start cooling back down. Look at that. Hold 60 for too long and start pushing it more and more. The engine starts shaking. You just let off. Oh, I kept the engine to keep... Ooh, okay. Something happened here. Good to know. Because technically I'm going below 60. I should have a negative input. Weird. I don't know what happened there. Because I was going a decent speed, and then out of nowhere just like stopped. I don't understand. I don't know what happened with it. It's weird. I didn't run out of gas. The gas gauge was working. That's operational. So the engine started doing that. If you do make a car around this, when the engine starts shaking, you should make the hood pop ups. Make it pop up a little bit, start smoking and steaming like you're saying, and then like after a certain time delay, have it like actually get like red hot. That'd be kind of cool. So only if this is greater than this should it send an output. Which the AND gate should really only have like one thing hooked up to it. So yeah, if I'm going over 60, then yeah, it should reduce my overheating. If I start overheating, goes into that speed sensor. I feel like I should go into this too. No, not that. Oh, that'd be cool. That would be pretty neat, huh? Do like you should have a noise block where a high-pitched noise starts playing the last 5 seconds before it explodes, like a tea kettle. Like have it like really over RPM. Like use the sound blocks to make it like sound like it's going, and then explodes. Be pretty neat. I would like to like I would honestly describe it as like the what is it, like the repulsor from Iron Man? Iron Man's repulsor, how it like charges up, it's all and he like shoots it, you know? Like that would be kind of like the sound I would go for. It's kind of neat. That's a fun one. Oh, I'm taking a time check. Yo, we've been streaming for 2 hours. I know none of you guys have been here all forever. However, for those still hanging out and kicking it with me, thank you. Happy to have you guys here. I don't know how much longer I'll be on, but I'm really enjoying this concept. It's been quite fun. Kind of sucks talking to you with a stream delay. I actually, believe it or not, have it set to the lowest stream delay I can. Like, if I could do it, like, live to live, I would. It's just kind of how it works. I gotta see if anything else is hooked up to that accumulator or not. It really shouldn't have anything else hooked up to it, but it might for some reason. Trigger below 60, output -1. I'm not sure what's happening to this thing. Ooh, launched me out. Like, why won't that go back down? Something has got to be hooked into the speed sensor, and I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with that. Nothing's hooked in this. You can't even hook anything into a speed sensor. Ew. So why is this all of a sudden sending out like a negative deal? It shouldn't be. Speed sensor is very simple. It only sends an output after, like, we're below 60. Then it should send a negative negative output to this accumulator, which should subtract how much is being filled into it. I don't understand. F4U Corsair proxy. As far as my favorite plane goes, F4U Corsair, man, badass, love it. Naval fighting jet, really cool. Not jet, but plane. You know, words. Why won't that go negative? For some reason, I don't quite understand. Maybe that doesn't need to reach that. This just needs to go into that. This does not need to go back into there. Maybe that was our problem this whole time. I might have figured it out. There we go. Drop below 60. We start cooling down again. My engine is not doing the overheating thing. Let's see. This hooked into that. And gate, yes. What else is hooked into the AND gate? Oh, the speed sensor. Well, that's why. Here we go. See if we start shaking after we get to a certain temperature level. Oh yeah, we're good. We start shaking. Slow down. we just gotta turn off hold position because it is a bit much, and then it also will self-right itself after it's done shaking. If it goes too fast while engine overheating, there is a random chance a little gun shoots one of the wheels and pops it. You could do that too. That's pretty funny. I like the idea of the engine exploding after a certain time delay. And we can actually just do that by hooking up this AND logic gate. Not the AND logic gate. We would need another accumulator, essentially. That's also hooked into this comparison block. And then have this based on time of the input going into it, because you then have it exploded the TNT. But in order to do that, it would have to be hooked up to its own XOR gate. Or, yeah, so we're reading off this comparison block, goes here. And then, because this always sends a signal out, you'd have to null that with another gate. Because I found a 3D model of a lot of different colors for the Corsair. Oh, the classic navy blue, man. Navy blue Corsair. Well, as far as like exit, like honestly making this car and making a video with it later, like if we overheat, or like you said, if we overheat too long, there's a random chance it pops a tire. That'd be kind of cool. Doing a race like that would be interesting. No worries, man. All right, we got to get this engine part working out. We won't get the sound in. I'm also getting a little bit tired myself. But I definitely want to get the engine exploding if we overheat too long. So now, what charges up the accumulator? Should we... This starts charging it up. Then we can go on. Wait, didn't we already set up the engine to fail or something after 10 seconds? No, we didn't. Yeah, that's what we're working on right now. My brain. Sorry. When it comes to logic, like there's so much thought involved that it actually makes me forget what I'm doing half the time. It's a little weird, but it's okay. All right. So now we're doing after like 10 seconds of runtime. Yeah, because that's what we did. We did 10 seconds of over 60 miles an hour. We start to overheat. Now we can do it to where like after another 10 seconds, the engine then explodes. Like if we do 10 seconds of with the engine starts shaking for 10 seconds, we can have this explode. That'd be pretty cool. And all you need is a comparison logic block. When this equals threshold 100, there's an output of 1. So when this fills up, which would be a 10-second timer, there's an output of 1. Have the output go to the dynamite. Boom. We've got our exploding engine now. Before we do anything, gotta save it. Let's see. Yeah, Proxy, I was gonna stream tomorrow. However, my little brother has a football game, so I'm gonna go to that, and that'll be my evening. So I won't be streaming tomorrow, which I would argue is probably not a bad thing. Like it's okay to like take breaks, but I'm just happy I was able to do this in between recordings, and I'll probably be doing a tutorial and or a fun video with this fuel idea. I'm just not really sure, and we'll go from there, you know. Okay, Proxy, I think we're ready. I think this thing has now got an overheat system that the engine can and will explode. What would be really cool is if we use like another comparison gate, and after 5 seconds of that like 10-second timer before it blows up, we put it to a sconce where it catches on fire. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. If this is greater than... So, but right, like 2 seconds before, it just explodes. That'd be really cool. Let's see. Light source. With the fire pit under the engine. Off by default. No toggle needed. And then the below 60 miles an hour, like the negative one, we just got to do it to all the accumulators. Just like that. Okay. So we've got this accumulator that's here. Comparison equals, sends an output to that. Boom. This comparison threshold is greater than 80. Then it sends the fire pit to turn on. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I want orbit cam so I can get as close to the build as possible. Alright, miles per hour. 60 miles an hour. So we're starting to overheat. Engine starting to shake and rumble. Oh. It just blew up. That's a bit much. I didn't see the fire for some reason. I don't know why that was. Engine is shaking. Alright, everything's cooling down again. I'm surprised I didn't see the fire there. Okay. Could you upload this to the Steam Workshop? Yes, I can. I think once I get at least this working, to where like the flames and stuff are actually working for the engine, I'd be down. And for some reason, I just don't know why they aren't. It's greater than 80. Yes, this accumulator. Oh, that's why I forgot to hook it up. Doy. All right, let's see. Oh, we're overheating. Engine's on fire. Nice. You can at me in the UZ Discord, but you're probably just gonna get someone saying, "Hey, don't do that." I have you on the Discord. I'll add you, bro. I'll get it from you. I'll add you up. It should be okay. At least that way we can trade builds and stuff. But I'll add you on Discord. What do you think, though? It does work. Like, now if you start overheating too much, it starts to catch on fire. But if you slow down below 60... everything calms back down. Not famous, don't want to be, unfortunately. I don't really want to be famous, man. But I appreciate it. Yeah, no. Oh, as far as adding you, man, getting friends, that's pretty huge. That's like kind of all we ever hope to do, right? Oh yeah, the fire is a bit extensive. Like whenever it's about to explode, it's pretty funny. So you drive in 60, engine starts to shake. That's funny, dude. Do you ever build in space? I have before. I don't. Okay, when the update first came out, I really enjoyed it. I don't really build that way anymore. I don't really go out on the space map too often. It used to be really cool, and now, meh. It's kind of, it gets dull too quick. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even need all these extra like comparison stuff for the engine to shake and work. I think like once the engine starts working, it should go on fire, which is like your warning that like, hey, you're overheating. I think that's fair. I don't think I need all these. I probably don't. I just need another one of these comparison blocks. If I can simplify all this, I would like to. So then if this is greater than 80% of the overheating threshold, then there's a fire. Boom. This should hook into that. Okay. And then you just do another comparison, which this one was, what, 70%? And then you just go here and go, once we're equal to 100 of this accumulator here, there should then be an output to this. Not the AND gate. And also not this AND gate. So this starts the engine shaking at 40% of overheating when our temperature gets to like 40% of how high we have it. Then this one, once we get 70% of like too hot, it'll start the flames. Once we get 100% overheated, the engine explodes. So you can see our temperature gauge on the left building, 40%. Engine starts shaking. 70%. Engine catches fire, but if I let off, like the engine calms back down. That's so cool. The engine calms back down. Everything starts sitting still again. I'm learning logic. I feel good. Explode it. All right. We're going to RPM it till it goes out. Oh, here we go. Engine's shaking. Engine's on fire. And it explodes. That's so good. Also, if we start running out of fuel, you just hop out and you can fuel yourself back up over here on this side of the car. That's cool. Dude, actually, this as is, let's see. We gotta give it a name. So what? Fuel and overheat system. Let's see, fuel and overheat system. Car logic. There we go. Boom. On computer, Exa might have to help me here. I don't even know how to... I have no idea how I'm even supposed to upload without using my controller, I guess. Oh, that's delete. No, we don't want to do that. B is upload. Okay, works for me. Tagged. It is a car. And then, let's see. That way you guys can find it. Fungus Franks. Fungus Franks. Fuel and overheat system car logic. Yeah. There we go. Describe the blueprint. Car overheats after going faster than 60 mph. Let's see. Car overheats after going faster than 60 miles an hour and cools back down once you go below, and also has a fuel system. Refuel by the distance sensor on the side. All right. Okay. Car overheats after going faster than 60 miles an hour and cools back down once you go below, and also has a fuel system. Refuel by the distance sensor on the side of the car. Boom. Did I already upload it? Upload not all mods are enabled. Oh. Sessions. Are you able to deactivate them, or do I have to save it, go back, and then upload it? Hold on, I got a main menu. Oh yeah, Iron Cat, we're still going, dude. You missed all the fun. I've got a refueling system. An actual fuel system runs out. Now the car overheats, and a bunch of other stuff. It's kind of wild. Oop, 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 oop. The car overheats, catches fire, and all this other stuff. I was proud. For someone who doesn't know logic, I got this thing doing a bunch of stuff. Okay. So now we've got this right here. Yeah, so it looks ugly. I'm not gonna make it pretty or anything. That's what I leave other people to do. They can build a car around it, essentially. And all of these can be moved. Once they're all hooked up like this, it's fine. But yeah, so if we go over 60 miles an hour, Iron Cat, we start overheating. Once we reach the maxed overheat, the engine eventually explodes. But on the way, there's like the different stages of overheating, where like the engine starts to shake, catches on fire, and then eventually explodes. So pretty neat. Let's see. Okay, now we should be able to upload it, right? Say right click, upload. What in the world happened to what? Why is this like this? Nice. What happened to my name and everything? Like, why is it like this? Okay. Wait, does it do that naturally, or am I missing something? Because like this is all typed out normal. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, what happened? I've never had to deal with that. I don't upload anything. This is probably my first upload on Steam ever. Car overheats after going faster than 60 miles an hour and cools back down once you go below, and also has a fuel system. Refuel by a distance sensor on the side of the car. And then we'll do like a cheeky little enjoy, subscribe to Fungus Frank on YouTube because I'm a sellout. There we go. Boom. There you go. It's been uploaded. It's there. Oh God. Okay. I've kept my energy moderately high for 2.5 hours. I'm tapped out. That's going to be it, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream at the very least. So, whew, it's been fun. And I enjoyed building this. This is a really cool one. I might actually take the time some point this week I'll build a car around it myself, and then we can probably see like what other people have done too, because I think it's a pretty cool system. I dig it. You guys have yourselves a good night. I appreciate you all. If you haven't already subscribed, if I figured you're already watching because you have. But biggest thing you guys could also do, like the live stream for today, and also if you are totally not afraid to do so, tell me, tell your friends about the channel, and if you guys enjoy the content, maybe they will too. So take it easy, guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm.